Okay, my students, now that you have read about the gist of a narrative text, like the definitions, the purpose, and also the social function, now we're going to learn more about the insides of narrative text, like the elements, the generic structure, and also the language features. Let's just move on to the first materials, the elements of narrative text. There are 5 elements of narrative text that should be included to build a narrative text. First is plot. It is how the author arranges events to develop the basic idea. Setting is time and location that a story takes place. Character is individuals who take part in the action of a story. And then point of view, it is the angle from which the story is told. There are 3 types of point of view: first person point of view, second person point of view, and third person point of view. And in the third person point of view, there are 2 kinds of third person point of view, which is third person limited and third person omniscience. What is the difference, ma'am? Okay, the third person limited, it views all actions through the eyes of a single character, so we as readers only see what the narrator sees. Meanwhile, in the omniscience, in the third person omniscience, it is godlike, so the narrator knows and sees everything and can move from one character's mind to another. That's the difference, okay? And then lastly, it is about the theme. The last element is the theme. It is a central message, like the moral of the story, the core of the story. That's the theme. And now moving on to the generic structures. There are orientation, which is about the opening paragraph where the characters of the story are introduced. And then complications is the part where the problems are developed. And then resolution is the part where the problems in the story is solved. And lastly, it is coda, or it is familiarly called reorientations. This part is optional because it contains the lesson from the story, and all stories have a moral value. However, we can't, as an author, we can't include it explicitly or implicitly, so it's up to the author, okay? And now moving on to the language features of narrative text. So narrative text use past tense. Do you still remember about past tense? Yes, the pattern is subject and verb to and also object. For example, like I killed the old man last night. So we use verb to, okay? And then adverb of time. For example, is in the story, once upon a time, or one day, etc., something like that. And then time conjunctions. For example, like when, after that, then, suddenly, and so on. And also in the narrative text, we use specific character instead of a general character. For example, Cinderella, Snow White, Aladdin. So it's specific, right? We don't mention like humans or animals. We don't mention something like that. We use specific character. And we also use action verbs in narrative text, a verb that shows an action. For example, like kill, walked, ran. We also use direct speech to make the story lively. For example, Snow White said, "Oh, Mr. Dwarf, can I just stay here? I was chased away from the palace. I was chased out by my mother." Something like that. Okay, we're going to move on to our next activity because the material is just going to be around that, okay? Our next activity, we're going to watch a short story entitled The Old Lion and the Fox from YouTube channel. Let's just watch it together, okay? This is not going to be boring, so please enjoy. I'm not going to ask you to read long text, so please have fun.
No way I'm going in. I don't want to be eaten today. Thanks to the wise fox, no animal came near the lion's den ever again.
Okay, my students, what do you think about the stories? Is it interesting? I hope that you also pay attention to the story, okay? Because we're going to do a quiz after this, yes. Please prepare your gadget and visit quizzes and enter my join code here is 614678. Okay, and then enter your name. Please write down your name. Don't worry, this is not a test or something. This is just going to be fun activity. Just imagine this is a game. Okay, have you all enrolled to the quiz? Okay, I'm going to start. Alright, congratulations to you who got into the rank, and for you who didn't get into the rank, please don't be sad because it doesn't mean that you're bad or something. You're all excellent. Really, I appreciate all of you of your works. And you've already know about the answers, okay? Because I already attached my answer, the correct answer for the questions after you've clicked on your own answer. So I hope that you learned a lot from here. Now we are moving on to our next activity here to work in group. So please work in a group of 4 and find one short story, one video of a story. It's up to you, be it a fable, myths, legends, or something. However, you must pick one story that is different from the others. For example, group A, you choose Malin Kundang for your story, and then group B, you also choose Malin Kundang. No, it can't be like that. Even though they're from the different channels, but no. Please choose different stories so that we can learn from each other. Do you get it? You can find the video from my YouTube recommendation channels that I've also mentioned before. You can also search for it from different channels. It's up to you. After that, please work on these things about the general structure, the language features, also the elements. Please analyze the video and mentions about these things. Do you still have any questions about the instructions? If you have any questions, just feel free to ask me, okay? I'm going to accompany you until the rest of the time, until the time is up, okay? Don't worry. Good luck, my students!